For the person who keeps missing chaos, who catches themselves thinking life was so much more exciting back then this episode is for you. I would like to first tell you that you're not actually missing the addiction. You're missing those moments that you've chosen to remember. The thing is with addiction and how our addict works silently in the background when you're in recovery is by romanticizing all about the good times, and it helps you forget all about those bad times. The amount of times I forget about the fucking nights where I was curled up in a fetal position in so much pain due to cat cramps and my bladder and my kidneys feeling like I've got barbed wire wrapped around them, squeezing, like, is insane. I forget about those moments. I forget about those moments where I'm literally bent down over the loo, bleeding the loo so much, but nothing coming out apart from blood. Do you know what I mean? Like, I forget about those things. But what my brain likes to do is forget all about the fucking fun times. And let me be honest with you, I had some amazing times on drugs. So much fun. I loved the chaos that my old life brought me. I really did. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't, but I have to remind myself of where the drug taking took me. And that's what you have to do. If you have got into recovery, if you have made a decision to get clean, drugs were not working for you, because I'm sorry, but if your life was so much fun and whilst you were using and you didn't have any consequences or anything like that, then I probably don't think that you've decided to just get clean for the sake of it. Because I don't know about you, but if I could take drugs and have no consequences, I'd probably still be definitely doing it. Because I loved that. I really did. There were so many moments that felt so good. The highs, the madness, just like the unpredictability, the fact that like, on the Fridays I would be like, right, when you're coming out of work and you're just like, oh my God, let's have a drink, let's ring everybody come round. And then loads of random people would be out. You wouldn't have a plan. And there would be an epic night on at the White Hotel or whatever club it was for you. And it was just unplanned, but it was just so fun. I absolutely loved those nights, and I sometimes wish I could just go back in time and just have one of those nights again. But unfortunately, and I have to remember that when I take something, it just doesn't stop. And it never did. When I look back at my using, every single time I use, I never just had one. I just didn't stop until I passed out or I got myself in too much pain. Do you know what I mean? My drug of choice completely destroyed my life. So it's like I can't risk going back and doing one of those nights, because I can't risk going back to the bad side of addiction and the really fucked up side of things. I don't ever want to go back there. I don't want to do what I did to my family. I don't want to do what I did to my friends. I really did worry a lot of people with the way I used. And the way that the thing is like when I do use, I don't think about anybody. I don't care about anybody. I'm doing what I want to do. But then those unplanned nights and stuff like that, I do miss. And then life now as well can feel a lot slower. But I have to look at those and start looking at the smaller things that I'm grateful for. The fact that, yes, life's slower, but I've been able to save because I'm not spending all my money on drugs and drink. I've been able to clear all my debts. Work, I'm so much more focused in work. I've been promoted in work. Do you know what I mean? Like, all of these things like that would never have happened if was continuing that life. And I know that it can feel a bit boring. My life feels so boring sometimes. But what I do is I just switch up a little bit. I end up deciding, right, I'm just going to go to a different meeting and hear a different message. Doing that, or as well just bring some more enjoyment into my life, then I decide, you know what, let's have a look at what's going on in Manchester. Just because I'm clean doesn't mean that my life just stops. Just because you've got clean, your life just doesn't just stop. There's so many activities out there. If you live in Manchester, for instance, yesterday I went to this bubble factory thing where it was like a massive ball pit, and it was just fun. Do you know what I mean? It was just sensory overload, but I absolutely loved it. And so if anybody's neurodivergent on here, it's at the Mayfield Depot. I would definitely recommend to go. It was a fun day out. And then there's nights. If you're like me, like later on in your recovery, and still go out tonight, I'll see what's going on and I get myself out because I don't want my life to be boring. There's so much to do. It's just about making sure your recovery comes first. So it's just about basically seeing that your life's not boring and it may have just slowed down a little bit. It's just not full of chaos anymore. So it's just about appreciating, just try and reframe your mindset on if you're feeling that your life's going a little bit boring or it's a bit slower and all of that stuff. Just reframe it. Look what you've achieved in those by slowing down, by giving yourself more time to work on yourself. You've probably grown so much as a person by slowing your life down, by not being in the madness. And another thing as well, you've got to try and see that this is your addict brain trying to convince you that life wasn't that bad in the chaos and in the madness. And like I was saying earlier on, that's what your addict will do. It will start romanticizing all about the good times when you've really got to be strong and remember the bigger picture and the full picture. And that is that you were most likely, if you were anything like me, very anxious, lost, or come down central most of the week because of the craziness that you did at the weekend. So you're not focusing on work, you're not achieving what you can actually achieve. And then you could also be experiencing shame. I did a lot of things in my madness that I was pretty shameful about, and I had that within me. I don't have that anymore because I'm not doing things that bring me shame anymore. Sleeping around or just doing shit that I just didn't want to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doing that anymore. And that maybe your brain may be telling you, oh, that was really fun. And I'm like, was it really? So I think the thing is, you've just got to remember that it isn't, it's your brain romanticizing, trying to make you think that it was really exciting and everything like that. But what it was just pure chaos. It was just pure chaos, really. Especially at the end. If you're anything like me, it was fucking chaos, right? It was just one thing after another, catching myself, knowing that I had to get drugs or knowing that I had to pay people back, knowing that I needed to get money from somewhere. So it was like, right, I need to do that, I need to do this. And then trying to make it all okay so then I could do it all over again at the weekend. And your mind was just like, boom, 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 boom. This washing machine brain was just fucking nuts. Do you know what I mean? And thankfully, I don't have that anymore. Yes, my life's a bit slower now. Yes, it can be fucking boring sometimes. But when it gets boring and I feel that boredom come in, I look at what's going on in Manchester or I look what's going on in the UK. I book a ticket because I've got money now to do that. Do you know what I mean? You'll have money to go to places, fucking get on the plane, do something, go out, go on holiday, go to a spa, do whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just don't let your brain romanticize about these really wonderful good times that you supposedly had and forget about the pain that you're in, that mental fucking torment that you're in. Don't forget about that stuff because that's where it will lead you if you end up picking back up. And so I think sometimes I have to remind myself that the boring actually means my life is actually stable, and the boring means that I'm actually not hurting anybody else, and that boringness as well means that I'm actually building something of my life, which I am doing. I've done so much in these last 4 years. Yes, my life slowed down a lot, but I've achieved so much, and so can you. So it's about reframing the boringness into what you actually are doing in your life to better your life. So I hope that helps, and I'm going to leave it there. My name is Isra, and this is Still Addicted. Please hit subscribe, comment, and share, and I will see you next week. Thank you.